You can see if you grab one side, it's not doing anything. But fist bump. We've completed a current, so that is just that is how the energy flows between us. So yeah.
Good day to you, my wellness friends. This is AJ Webb, and I'm your SLV Health Wellness Coordinator. And I'm not going to poke your eye out, but I'm going to tell you that today's wellness show is about touch. I want you to pause, and I want you to think about a person in your life, a loved one, some individual that had the ability to put hands on you. For me, it was my grandma Regine, hand on the shoulder, back rub style, that would always put me to ease if I was upset. There is an extreme amount of power in the way that we make contact and exchange energy with one another. And when we have a positive intention around it, it appears, it's been my observation, we can really change the way that we're navigating the world in a positive way for ourselves and for other people. An individual that I see be positive and really work to impact and create a positive energy is Kendra Hansen. She works right down the hallway from me, and I watch her interact with patients and clients on a regular basis. If you don't know Kendra, she is a CMAA, Certified Medical Administrative Assistant, for Dr. Polzine in the chiropractic department. And I watch her interact with these clients, and it just is my observation, she really sets this positive intention, greeting them and using her bubbly personality. But I know that she doesn't always feel great and want to be this bubbly person, but she does it anyway, and it works to create this positive experience. I asked Kendra about this quality of hers to set a positive intention, and she talked about her experience as a certified healing touch practitioner and how that helps her set a positive intention, how it helps her redirect energies in a way that a client who's feeling icky and yucky is going to have a better experience coming into SLV Health. Kendra has worked for SLV Health for 11 years. She started as a receptionist, and she went back to school to become the CMAA. And along her journey in healthcare, she found out about certified healing touch practitioner-ness, and she received that credential. And we talk about how she earned that credential, the training that she had to do, and the origins of healing touch. It was fascinating to sit and talk with her and learn about how the transfer of energies, redirect energies, and working to be intentional and positive can help our clients and help ourselves be the best healthcare workers that we can be. I know you will enjoy this episode with Kendra Hansen. Take a look at it. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, like these videos, share them with your friends, and leave some comments. And if you're interested in keeping up with the other things we're doing at San Luis Valley Health in our wellness program, whether it's for you or whether it's for your corporate wellness program, you can visit us at www.slvhwellness.blogspot.com. See you there. Disclaimer. Do not use this information as medical advice. Instead, see your own family doctor for care. The opinions expressed do not represent the opinions of SLV Health. Kendra Hansen, thank you so much for coming to talk to me. I'm excited to talk to you for a variety of reasons. Right? One, because I think your practice and your modality is rad, and plus I like in working as a wellness coordinator and doing biometric screenings. Right, I learned that healthcare workers, I think they got this unique ability to, in a good way, lay hands on people. Like it's this wild thing. Like it was very terrifying for me to take someone's finger. It was like a stranger from like BOCES or something like that, and like prick their finger and like take their blood, and it was just like, whoa, right? It was whoa for a variety of different reasons, because particularly like I'm not used to that kind of thing, right? And I'm just like, wow, it's a wild skill, right? So we're going to talk about touch today and the power of touch and energy, but I'd first like you to tell me, what is your name, what is your title here at SLV Health, and what do you do?
I'm Kendra Hansen. I am a certified medical assistant in the chiropractic department for Dr. Polzine. And I've been working here for almost 11 years. I started in internal medicine as a receptionist.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice. So you started out as a receptionist?
Yes.
And then?
And then I decided I wanted to go back to school, and I had thought about doing massage therapy, something I'd wanted to do my whole life. But my schedule at the time did not allow for me to take that much time away from work.
I see.
So I waited about another year and decided I wanted to go for the medical assistance because I thought it would be of better use to the hospital as that. So I did, and when I went to school, while I was in school, I was actually working with Dr. Polzine and training as his assistant.
Very nice.
And I have been with him as his assistant for going on 10 years now.
Almost a decade
Almost
hanging
a decade.
out with Mean Polzine.
No, Mean Polzine.
He's not mean.
No, he's not.
He's super. He's awesome. He's friendly.
There's a reason our schedule's so full.
I know. My wife and kids, they love coming in. They feel so good to get adjusted. And
Yes.
it's rad.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So you're working with another person who specializes. I believe chiropractors that means hand and adjusting or something like that.
It's a lot of touch.
Very,
Exactly.
very nice. Very nice. So let's talk about your particular modality, and the reason I want to talk to you is that you have, not only do you have the MA, or is it MAA?
CMAA.
Pardon me.
Yes.
CMAA,
Yeah.
right? Certified Medical Assistant?
Certified Medical Administrative Assistant.
Perfect,
Yes.
perfect. So you have that. What are the next letters after your name?
CHTP.
CHTP. Can you please tell me, what does CHTP stand for?
Certified Healing Touch Practitioner.
Shazam.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what Certified Healing Touch is. Now, I've actually experienced this, right? You and I you get to put me through a treatment, and when it comes to things that can help you via relaxing you, optimize you, calm you down, and things like that, I'm all about it. I get wound up real tight, and I'm kind of all over the place, and I think it's hard for a lot of folks to kind of relax and let their bodies do the work. I want to talk a little bit more about that experience, but healing touch, right? That's the name of the modality, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us what healing touch is?
Yes, I can. I would like to say it as articulately as I can.
Okay.
So I have my little cheater. This
Very
is what we
nice.
call an elevator speech, and
Perfect.
we come up with this during our certification process. And it's an integrative, holistic practice developed by nurses to be used in hospitals to help reduce anxiety and pain. It uses gentle touch, working within the bioenergy field to balance your body's natural energy flow. It's a nurturing therapy that complements all practices in Western medicine to promote overall wellness and increase the body's ability to heal itself.
Very nice. That's a lot going on there.
It is a lot.
That's a lot going on there. Let's unpack a few of those
Sure.
things, right? So as I'm hearing you, did I hear developed by nurses?
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Nurses are special people.
Yes.
Right? My grandma, Ray Jean, is a nurse.
Yes.
She's one of the nicest ladies. Take me to watch Disney movies. So my daughter's middle name is Emily Ray Jean, right?
Oh, that's sweet.
And her nurse, she's just one of the most nurturing people ever. I think you folks in that capacity have a lot of opportunity to impact care, and it's really cool. So it's developed by nurses, okay? I heard the word balance in there, right?
Yes.
Can you unpack that just a little bit for me? Like, what is...
Sure. Our bodies tend to carry tension in certain places, and that's where we start going a little bonkers. Sometimes a lot of that stuff is carried up here in our heads, and sometimes it's carried in your back, and sometimes it's carried, wherever you're having pain is where your body's freaking out about
Right. Pain
what's
is a
going
signal.
on. What's
Pain
going
is a
on
signal.
in our
Something's
life?
going on, yeah.
So what I do is I use my energy to facilitate a balanced flow, and I go through a process on each client to balance that flow. And by the end, they're just like, oh. And it's a nice little breather. And wow, I can't believe how relaxed I got. And I feel so much better. If
Very
even
nice.
just for that little bit of time, they feel better.
Well-being. that was another part of this, right? As a wellness coordinator, I kind of have to figure out, I mean, I treat wellness very vaguely as I say it's a process, and it's the ability to figure out what's the best for you at any given point, and having the resources to go and do those things is kind of how I evangelize wellness, and not say it's exercise and vegetables. I don't pin that evil on people. When we're saying well-being, right? Does that have to do with that balance?
Absolutely, and it's helping people to find where their balance, or where they are imbalanced. And what I do is it complements the work of, let's say, a wellness coordinator or a counselor or their primary care physician. My intention for them is to feel confident in going to those people for their help, and to decrease their anxieties about this can't possibly be helping me, or I don't know why it would. I'm so far gone.
Right. Yeah, no one's broken. No one's broken. We just might be out of whack, out of balance, and things like that. And we may even be out of balance and something that appears to be positive. Like for me, before I really worked to mature and understand some of the different parts of my wellness wheel, right? I thought I could work out all my problems, right? I got real fit under like my most stressed situations, and I had to kind of tailor that stuff back and put a little more into my social, emotional, and even my just general relaxation, right? Let me kind of take a breather, right? Yeah. And just by understanding that, every once in a while, it's going to be okay if you just watch the little tube.
Yeah, and I can help them identify where the imbalances are so that they can address it with the proper channels. Because I, as a practitioner of Healing Touch, I'm not allowed to diagnose things. I can't.
Of course.
So I just send them back to, or I can refer to names that I do know who can help them in the situations that they require.
Perfect. All ages.
Yes.
All ages, right? So, young folks, old folks, in your experience practicing this, what is the primary demographic, if you will, that you've worked with?
I've worked primarily ages between in their 20s to middle age. I have had a baby or two. My baby can't sleep. Well, let's see if we can help. Or I've had some elderly folks with just chronic pains, and they've come in. Lots of anxiety and stress in the 20 to 40, 50 range. I think that's just life, and so they do come in just even for just this is their time to reset, be there for themselves, and go on about their business.
I think it was so back to my grandma Regine. She had this thing. If I got upset, so I used to get really upset when my parents would leave and they drop me off. One grandma Regine back rub and you're all set.
Yes.
I mean, there's something about that embrace, that we get, from a loved one, a relative, that either transfers that energy or is just, man, those things can be really, really comforting and
it's a loving, positive intention.
Right, yeah. And so it wasn't so much that I was getting my back rubbed; it was Grandma Regine was letting me know that it was going to be okay, and they were going to come back, and we're going to watch Disney movies and make these special cookies. Ritz crackers with peanut butter on them, dipped in chocolate.
Nice.
And we'd make a whole slew of those.
That makes everything better.
It does. It definitely does. So so if we unpack those different components, anything else about when we say what is Healing Touch that you want to touch
on? Well, like I said, it's intentional, and there is technique to this particular energy work. It was designed to work in medicine,
right?
So to work with illness, to work with pain.
Right. When we say working with, I think that word harmony came up in there.
Yes, that's exactly right. Harmony. It's a lovely word.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want people to ever think that, and it's not meant to be practiced alone. And I will reiterate that all the time. This is not the end all to all things.
Right. Right.
It's a helper. It's a hand. It's a guide.
Gotcha.
It guides into wellness.
Yeah.
And it's so peaceful, and it works differently with everybody because everybody's energies are different.
Right. Right. We have our different experiences, our different traumas.
Yes.
Our different way we carry things and attitudes.
And traumas that we have. Some of our bodies have gone through things that we've forgotten about, and later on in life are having back problems or knee problems. And,
right.
And where did that come from?
That's a true story. I was pretty, I don't know if you remember or recall, but you had asked me a question after my treatment about one of my knees. Just so happened that's the one that had experienced a traumatic event, right? A pretty intense MCL sprain. And maybe I wasn't feeling good that day or something like that. I mean, I don't have a long term, but that's very interesting that you say those things. I was impressed that you had picked up on, like, there's no way I didn't tell you that. Right? So that was wild. Now, you mentioned technique. How does one develop the healing touch technique and get this particular credential?
It doesn't happen overnight.
Not overnight.
No,
you don't go on the internets, right? And pay your $49.99.
You can't get ordained over the internet for this. No.
Rats.
No.
There goes my third job. Can you tell me, how'd you...
you could learn how to do it, though.
So, and we may be going back, but you had mentioned... Where'd you first hear about this?
My mother lives in Colorado Springs, and she's actually a CMA also up there at UC Memorial. And she saw...
The family of healers.
A family of healers. There's a whole nother story about that
Very
we
nice.
don't have to go into.
Okay.
She saw, I think she must have seen a flyer for healing touch therapy. And she called me and she says, I'm going to take this class. And I said, well, you're not going to do it without me. So we paid the money, signed up, and we went to level 1. And it's a 2-day class for a whole weekend, 8 hours both days. And it's a circle of people you don't know, of all different creeds, genres, careers, and got to know a lot of different people. And so anyway, we're sitting there in level 1, and I remember the first time I felt it actually worked, and that I was onto something.
Wow.
I had a bad kink in my neck, and we practiced modalities on each other that we were learning that day, and it was gone, completely gone. And I said, okay, there's something to this. I'm going to level 2.
Very cool.
And I said, I can't stop.
Yeah.
I have to see this thing through. So over the course of 2.5 years, I went to, there are 5 levels to it. Long weekends, lots of traveling. There's an apprenticeship between level 4 and level 5.
That's where we kind of work together, and you have to put in quite a bit of hours for that, huh?
100. I had to have at least 100 documented sessions.
Perfect.
And it's 45 to 1 hour sessions. And by the grace of God, I had so many people willing to just try it.
Hallelujah.
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 And picked up some regulars. And
wonderful.
But it was long. And then after level 5, if you want to get certified, there's another process. There's papers to write. There's books to read. There's modalities that I have to go experience.
Yeah.
That I had to go.
We had talked about some of those different things for you to go and experience.
Yes, 10 different holistic alternative modalities. And they are out there. It was not, I could not believe the things that I was, exposed to. Sound therapy. I didn't get that, but I thought about it. You can get, a behavioral health.
Right, some counseling.
And some of those modalities.
So I don't know quite a bit. I'd say that it was a regular conversation for me as a recruiter to talk to therapists about how they wanted to help clients and if they did that at where I was recruiting for, so they'd ask about EMDR, which is eye movement reprogramming and desensitization, right, which is this whole thing, and you're looking, and I mean, it's just pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
I did AccuDetox. Did I ever tell you about that?
No.
Do you know what that is?
No.
AccuDetox. 5-point ear acupuncture.
Interesting.
For addiction treatment.
See, it's
right?
out there.
I wasn't in an addiction treatment, but it was something where they had to get hours, right? And so these just really, really cool things that have these great stories and these great origins, right? I want to I want to know more about, because I watch you. Not in a weird way. I watch you in the halls, right? I see you interact with patients, right? Even my own daughter, right? And I see you, it's easy to say, oh, that person's bubbly, sparkly, and you put these adjectives on them, right? But my observation, you really work to set an intention when you greet clients and patients in those halls, right? That's something in intention. Can you kind of talk about how you take the healing touch and you apply it in your workday?
Sure. I see 25 or more patients daily just in my own practice with Dr. Polzing. And the first person they're going to see when I go out there and get them out of the waiting room is me. And I want them to come back and join us, ready for their adjustment. And it's just a good way to start the visit by just having a bright smile on your face. Make them feel like you're happy they're there, and it's going to help their healing process with having just that much positive energy to start with. And then Polzing comes in and throws on his, whipped cream on that
Hey,
Sunday.
little buddy!
Yeah, exactly. And so it's just a good positive experience for the patient all the way around.
Very
Positivity, I think, is so key to healing.
It's contagious. It's awesome. I mean, man, if you slug me in the arm and call me a wimp as I'm like trying to get better from like a cold or something like that, a lot better. I mean, I would rather have a cup of cocoa and a nice back rub. That would really change it. Yeah.
Exactly.
So those have been my observations, and even as part of like our service excellence training, right? Again, non-clinical, coming from an HR, position, coming from behavioral health, like it's kind of a no-no, like especially. So I worked with at-risk youth, right? I didn't do the arm around, kids. I do fist bumps and I do high fives and these kind of like elbows and these kind of distance keeping things, which is, it's my preference not to touch people, right? That was something that I had to take a look at and understand a little bit, right? But it's part of our curriculum here, right? The ability to connect with people via a touch, right? And we see this in other things, right? The baby, the baby's brand new and bonding, right? I mean, I even, take my shirt off and like hold my kid.
Kangaroo care.
Yeah, the marsupial way.
Yeah.
Touch has got a real clinical application. And we see that, and we have to use that for their training. That's got to have played a role with, this carryover from your particular modality into your day-to-day work here, huh?
It has, and I've found myself being so much more aware of the energy that I'm putting out.
Oh, wow.
And what other people are putting out. I can feel when somebody's got daggers for me just as they're walking by.
Like when I can't print.
Yes, exactly. I can feel when AJ's upset with the printer.
Well, I try and like look upset, so it's like kind of funny, but
it's okay.
But so you're able to make those observations. We use it in our daily as part of our our service excellence, and you talk about setting that intention on those energies, right? So when I came in for my treatment, right, you spotted some stuff, right? And I'll tell you what, definitively, I never like to say this does this, but I can tell you what, after that treatment, I was so relaxed, right? And it it was just an opportunity to do that. I just feel like, other than I've been working on, some better sleep habits and things like that, man, I'm up. A lot of us, we're up, we're going, coffee a million miles an hour, caffeine, get stuff done, right? And, we either burn ourselves out and have to go detach and watch some tube or whatever, but we have to do these things. Like, we're kind of go, right? To be able to relax was amazing, right?
Yeah.
But I want you to paint the picture for what's a treatment look like.
Okay.
Right?
So, first of all, it is a very...
I remember paperwork first.
There was paperwork.
Yes.
I do want to get a relatively summarized but detailed background on you, just so that I know who I'm working with.
Nice, concise piece of information.
Hey, well, maybe we can work on this, and I can ask you if they've had any problems from, this accident way back when. There is a consent for me to touch.
Okay.
I don't ever want to do anything that's weird. If you're there, that's one thing, because I can work above the body too.
Right.
I do not have to touch. That's what's so wonderful about having this field around you. I can work within it. It's your bubble. That's exactly what it is. When you say stay out of my bubble, well, we do have a bubble. Right. So I can work within it. It's a modest setting. No, you can stay fully clothed. The only thing you ever have to really take off is your shoes. It's a dimly lit room. It's just got a warm
ambiance.
Or yes, exactly. I often will diffuse oils just to either help you relax or energize you. Just depends on the blend that is needed for both of us that are in there. I mean, you want somebody who's uplifting to work on you, or somebody who's nice and relaxed to work on you as well. And the client will lie down, just depending on what we discuss in the pre-treatment. I'll either have you lie down. Usually you're going to be on your back, but if you want to go straight for a back treatment, I'll have you lie down face down. And I attune to your energy, and I do a hand assessment just to kind of feel where I feel there might be some energy interruption in flow. And I start the process. I do an energy connection. It's called a chakra connection. Your chakras are the main energy centers in your body. They're like a vortex, and they're all over the place. There are 7 main ones. Okay. And usually do a mind clearing as well, just to mellow you out. And usually by the time I've gotten to the end of the chakra connection, they're pretty relaxed if they're not asleep already. The mind clearing has a tendency to wipe them out, and I start hearing some snoring, and that's okay. I don't ever want people to get embarrassed because they might snore or drool on my table. It means I'm doing my job. And if we discussed any areas of pain that we need to work on, then I do a pain intervention on them. And it usually takes about 45 minutes to an hour for a complete session. And wake you up, and I go over, we go over what you felt, what I felt, what that could possibly mean to you. Is that something that you need to work on, think about, see your doctor about, and maybe set up another session for future reference.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Nice ambiance between the oils and music.
There is, I usually use some
light music.
Zen music.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. So you're able to go and relax and spend some time with a healer, and that's a good thing. All right. So within that, fill out a little bit of paperwork to better equip you to understand what's going on with you, right? You're able to deliver your treatment. Now, I was interested to hear you talk about how many treatments you can do, just because that energy, it comes at a cost, right? I mean, as much as you love to, healing touch, I'll just go run around and touch a bajillion people. That's not how it works, right? Because you're using your energy to redirect our energy. Exactly. And you had mentioned that do you have like some kind of a decompression for yourself? Or how would you describe that?
I try to start every day with at least a self chakra balance.
Okay.
I'll sit there and connect my own chakras. But before before I actually see a client, I do try to do at least 15 to 20 minutes of a meditation.
Oh, wow.
To get myself grounded and cleared and
That's awesome.
ready to help you out, because this isn't about me.
Right.
It's about you.
Right.
Or the clients.
Yeah, definitely. I've goofed around. I say goof around, but I've played with 1 to 10-minute spurts of meditation for 3 or 4 years now, right? I mean, and I'll come into work and I want to go bam, 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 and before I know it, I'm all over the place. And sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. The intention just isn't quite set yet. And by being able to breathe for a little bit, calm my own self down, understand how I'm kind of feeling about stuff, let some stuff in. If there's something I'm afraid of, I can go, should I really be afraid of that? Probably not. And then I can kind of make a nice to-do list, figure out what order I should do some stuff in. I have much more productive but much less stressful days.
Yes.
And, taking a second to relax for yourself, think about those different energies, because we can kind of get buzzing in our own mind.
Yes.
And by setting that intention, we can help ourselves out. Kendra, if someone wants to learn more about this particular treatment, is there some resources on the internets?
On the internets? Yes, they can. Right now, I don't have a web page set up, but Healing Beyond Borders does have their main web page, and it's healingbeyondborders.org, and they can. There's lots of resources on what it's about and and they should be able to. They should be able to find a practitioner wherever they live, as long as they're listed. I just realized today that that practitioners, once they're certified, can be listed on the Healing Beyond Borders website, but that has to be given my permission.
Of course, right. And you just got your shiny new certificate.
I did. It came in the mail today. Yes.
Very exciting.
It's very pretty.
Very exciting. So there's that. Let's imagine that I catch you around the water cooler and I say, hey, I heard you talking to AJ. Could I talk to you more about that healing touch stuff?
Yes. So I would actually, I'm more than happy to talk to somebody about it, just not during work hours, because I don't belong to the hospital as a practitioner right now. So I'd be happy to give a phone number, and we can talk about it later or make an appointment to talk about it another time.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I wanted to talk to you because I had a really good experience with it. It was a really great way for me to relax, and I think by looking at ways to take our resources, and our time and our monies and things like that, and put them towards things that can mellow us out a little bit, that's a good investment. It kind of feels like a luxury sometimes, but really, that's a good way to take care of ourselves. Let them, yeah, exactly, right. We're good enough. Let the machine kind of wind down, recharge the batteries a little bit. I want to check out this thing that you brought with us.
Okay, so you mentioned the drain on my energy that it might have, seeing more than enough patients a day. The energies, we exchange it. Like right now, your aura and my aura, we're exchanging energies right now there, because that's way more than an arm's length right now. So this is something that's really cool. Teachers like to use these to demonstrate electrical currents amongst their kids, and it's a lot more fun when there's a whole circle of people. It's an energy stick.
An energy stick,
it's an energy stick, okay. And there are 2 little metal things here that you hold on to. And you can see if you grab one side, it's not doing anything, but fist bump. We've completed a current, so that is just that is how the energy flows between us. So yes, we're conductive human beings.
Yes. Well, we feel those energies. I mean, and I know, speak from my own experience. Man, when you're funky or negative or something's going on, it kind of is just this, and I think that, so could you give us any parting thoughts or hot tips if I can tell I'm in that mode that, how can I better to help myself kind of set a new intention and bring a positive experience to a coworker, patient? Any hot tips there, Kendra?
step away from what's making you
Yeah.
crazy at that moment.
Okay.
I mean, if you need to go decompress,
Uh-huh.
walk on the earth, go breathe some smoky
Little
Colorado
breath.
air out there. Get away from it and start over another time. Talk to somebody, because a lot of your tensions can be taken in right here. Sometimes you just need to let go of something. Talk to somebody you trust. Don't go take it out on the wrong person.
Right.
We have behavioral health resources in
We
this
do.
building.
We do.
See if somebody's
Nice objective
available.
party that's not going to judge you, and you can go ahead and get it off your
Yes.
chest. Very nice.
Yeah.
Any other party thoughts, Kendra?
I don't know.
I appreciate you as a healer, a person of medicine and making people better. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you so much for having me. Thanks for your interest and your
no
support.
problem. Thank you, Kendra.
Appreciate you.